Welcome to the 411 with Error 404's video series on electronics. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your Motorola G second generation as if it were completely factory reset. This video will walk you through the complete process from starting up your phones for the first time to downloading and installing the robot controller and driver station apps.
Just a quick little reminder before we get into the video, the way that the FTC setup is you have one robot controller phone and one driver station phone paired to each other over Wi-Fi Direct. And for this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to do all this setup and installation on a Motorola G second generation phone. As you can see on this list, there are actually a lot of other phones that are allowed, but that one circled is the one that we're going to be demonstrating in this video. So the first thing you're going to do is turn them both on. Now I already have these both turned on already. So these both come up to these welcome screens. So make sure the languages are both set to English. And now it's going to pop up the Wi-Fi networks. I'm just going to go ahead and skip that because we're not going to use Wi-Fi. So skip anyway. About your privacy, yeah, whatever, accept and continue. Date and time. So at least as the time that I'm filming this is actually, this time is pretty close to correct, at least on this phone. Let me change this a little bit. Alright, so Nick, your name, I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just uncheck these options for finding your location and disable the things that automatically send diagnostics to Google, because those can slow down the phone a little bit, and running background processes can also cause your battery to run down a bit quicker. So here we are now on the home screen of these two phones. So just got it. So what I'm going to do now, before I do anything else, is turn on airplane mode. Now, airplane mode is going to disable any attempts that this is going to use for using your mobile network. These are both actually unlocked phones, I believe, but you still don't want to do anything with them. I did already remove the SIM card, as you can see from these little messages right here. When these come out of the box, I believe they will have a SIM card already in them. To pull the SIM card out, okay, so to pull the SIM card out, you're going to pull the back casing off the phone. Ah, come on. Okay, here we go. So you're going to go ahead and pull the back off of here, and you're going to see that there is this little slot right here for the SIM card. Now there will be one in there when you get it out of the box. You can go ahead and pull that out because I believe that the SIM card will actually also make some other background processes running that will limit your battery life. Now this version of the phone is a single SIM version. If you are a team from a different country or you buy your phones from overseas, you will actually most likely have a dual SIM version of this phone. The other SIM card slot will be here. That's why it kind of has the slots here. As you can see in this model, there is not actually a slot there. There's a space for one. But yeah, if you buy them from overseas, there may be two SIM card slots. Just make sure that those are both empty. When you're done with that, just go ahead and snap the back on. You should hear a nice loud pop. Okay, it wasn't really that loud. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and turn on airplane mode now. But as soon as you turn on airplane mode, you're also going to need to come and turn Wi-Fi back on again. Now this is actually kind of an important step because when you turn airplane mode on, by default it turns off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So make sure that you turn airplane mode on and then come back and turn Wi-Fi on. Very important. Next, you're going to disable the auto rotate feature. That means that when your phone is sideways on your robot or however you have it, the screen's not going to keep changing because that can actually mess with the way that the app performs. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come into the settings, which should be down here, and in here you can see all the information about the phones. Now you're going to come all the way down to the bottom and come to the tab here that says About Phone. Now you have a lot of information here about software version, all this type of stuff. So what you're going to do is right down here where it says build number, you're going to start tapping on that, and it should say, yep, you are now a developer. It will say a certain number of taps from being a developer, and then it will actually tell you once you are a developer. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on here now. You are now a developer. So now when you go back one tab, you have this extra little tab here that says developer options. Go ahead and open up that tab, and you're going to have a lot of pretty nice little stuff here. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is turn on this thing that says USB debugging. Now, this is what's actually going to allow you to be able to download and run the programs from Android Studio, since Android Studio is it's both an app maker software and an Android debugging software. Alright, so you're going to come out of here, back to this menu, scroll all the way back up to the top, and come up here to Wi-Fi. Now tap these three little dots in the corner, tap Advanced, and you should see a little button here that says Wi-Fi Direct. Go ahead and tap that. So this is the default Wi-Fi Direct name on these devices. But we're going to change these to be unique to the phones. Now at this point, up until this point, these phones have been set up the exact same way. I've been doing the exact same settings on them. You can tell I've had them side by side. I've been tapping the same buttons. But this is where they start to become a little bit different. I'm going to come up here, tap there, configure device, and this is what's going to actually allow you to change the name of your device. Now first of all, change the Wi-Fi Direct inactivity timeout to never disconnect. That's a pretty important one. And then also auto connect to remembered Wi-Fi Direct groups. That's also a very important one. Just go ahead and hit save and then come back into configure device. Now, the device name is all going to depend on which phone you want to be the driver station and which phone you want to be the robot controller. Now, in this case, I've already labeled the backs of these phones. This one is supposed to be the driver station, and this one is supposed to be the robot controller. So, as per the naming convention that FTC requires, I'm going to go ahead and name this one 8668 capital RC. So this one is now the robot controller. Actually, that's not the robot controller. This is the driver station. Make sure you keep these straight, because this one says DS. Now this one, you're going to call 8668, or whatever your team number is, dash RC, because this one is actually the robot controller. Go ahead and save that. Now I'm going to go back one step, and then come back to Wi-Fi Direct, and now they should show up with each other on the list of nearby Wi-Fi Direct phones. So go ahead and tap this one, and it'll ask to connect. Show up an invitation to connect, click accept, and now you are now connected. So these two devices are actually connected to each other. So I'm going to go back to the main settings overview. I'm going to come back down here to About Phone. Now on these, they are already Android version 6.0, and that is Android version Marshmallow. Now when you get these phones, they may not actually come with Marshmallow installed. They may come with either Lollipop or they may come with Marshmallow installed. If they do not come with Marshmallow installed, look here at Android version. If it says 5 blank and not 6.0, what you're going to need to do is connect these phones to a Wi-Fi network via, just the regular Wi-Fi settings. Once they're connected to the Wi-Fi, scroll down to About Phone and tap on System Updates. Now it's not showing up anything for me because I'm not connected to a Wi-Fi network, but if you were to run this on your phones while connected to a Wi-Fi network and you are not running Android 6.0 Marshmallow, you will most likely show up the system upgrade. Now the nice thing about this upgrade is even if you factory reset the phones like I did for this video, that update will carry over. So technically, per phone that you buy, you should only have to do the Android Marshmallow upgrade one time. One last thing before I leave the settings menu. come down here to display and uncheck adaptive brightness. Go ahead and take brightness level and put it at around 60%. I find that this is a good level. You can see it, but it doesn't drain the battery from being super bright. Also, change these two things. The sleep, having them at 30 seconds can be kind of bad for your robot. I believe we actually have our phones set at 30 minutes, and I also believe that the ZTE phones even have a never setting. Now, if you really don't want your phones to ever sleep or have the screens turn off, what you can do is, in the developer options, there actually is this little option right here that says stay awake. Now, what the stay awake option is going to do is whenever your phone is plugged in and charging, these screens will never turn off by themselves. Now, you should be able to turn them off by yourself by pressing the power button on the side while it's plugged in, but it will not automatically time out. So I'm going to go ahead and come back home now. So the next thing that we're going to do, we are actually going to need a computer.